today, no other than the young legend from Dreamville, from North Carolina, Charlotte's own. Lute is with Mouse Jones.
What's going on, my boy?
What's going on?
I can't call it,
Listen,
man.
I'm very happy. Listen, so, you know, this is going to be, obviously, me talking to you, but real quick, just let people know, everybody's been asking me to do my own solo interview series, and I was like, do I have the time on? I'm like, fuck it. Like, where else do I get I mean, podcasting is cool, but being able to have the conversation I want to have without having to worry about, let people talk, because I'm not the best podcaster in the world. We just have successful podcasts. I be talking over niggas sometimes because I be trying to get my shit off. I be wanting to ask questions. So this is the place. So you guys at home, make sure you subscribe, comment, and rate. I don't know. There's going to be a lower third that say all that shit because I'm going to forget it every time. But make sure y'all do all that. Make sure y'all tune in. I'm so happy to do episode 1, the first episode with Lute, somebody I've been wanting to talk to for a very long time. So shout out to Doe, your manager. We linked on Clubhouse a few months back.
I appreciate you for having me, though. For real,
absolutely.
For real.
So how's it been? How's it been since Dreamville Fest? Y'all a few days removed?
Yeah. Well, we flew out here to New York, just doing little press runs for this deluxe that niggas about to drop, and so yeah, I've been chilling.
So, like, we were just talking off air, so that's why it's like having a conversation with you, like being able to have conversation with people who I'm a fan of, who are my peers. That's very new for me because typically the people I've been fans of, they're not my peers, right? Like, I do get a chance to interview them. I do get a chance to sit down and converse with them, but they're not my peers, right?
No,
like,
I feel that.
I feel like in the game, we have to keep some type of structure, right? And some type of formality where it's like, now you the OG, I've worked myself up to a point to talk to you, right? And I think we're so used to being fans of our OGs that you're one of the first artists who I feel like you're a rapper, you're an artist, you're a music artist. I'm a media personality, but we're peers. We're in the same class.
No, I get what you're saying,
and I'm a fan.
I get what you're saying.
Has that been the same thing? Has that translated weird for you as well on the rap side?
Maybe not weird, but I do feel what you're saying because it's people that I'm a fan of as well. That's like my peers,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's just like like you said earlier, like you just got to give credit where credit is due. Yes. And for me, that's how I am. So it's people where I'm like, yo, I really fuck with your shit. Right. Like I'm literally a fan.
Well, I'm pretty sure, like you said, you've been out here doing press runs, so I'm pretty sure you're tired of answering this question, but I want to tell the people, I want to be able to help the people understand who is Lute, because I feel like within the Dreamville collective, conglomerate, there's a lot of big personalities that go on. Y'all are one of the only collectives where I feel like the not the egos, but the personas match the record and match the musical output.
I think that's the fire part about Dreamville is that everybody's organically themselves. Nobody's trying to be
like
anything
Boss
other
is
than
Boss, Earth Gang, Olu and Wow are Olu and Wow.
What you get in the music is what you get offset as well. If that
and I
makes
feel like
sense.
that doesn't happen with you. I feel like, and maybe that's just because your persona you're as laid back, and it's when you get in that booth, you come alive. But I feel like you're so laid back that's like, when I'm telling people, I'm like, nah, Lute. Like I was telling, like the way me and Doe met was me in a clubhouse room telling people, like,
that's wild though.
That's
nigga
crazy. Lute is the nicest in Dreamville, and give me 2 to 3 years, he gonna show y'all. But I feel like not your persona. I feel like your personality is more like just relaxed.
Like I'm introverted as hell.
How weird is that being a rapper such a big
it's hard.
collective?
I ain't gonna front. It's hard. Like I'm like so laid back, low key. Sometimes I'm so laid back. Sometimes niggas probably don't even notice me in the room, type shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I just it's hard to navigate sometimes because you have to be social and you have to network and because that's half of what this music shit is networking and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to navigate, but I try to manage that in a way where I can stay sane and also do what I got to do.
So in that, right? In that, I feel like that's a perfect setup for the age-old interview question. Who is Lute?
Shit, honestly, I'm still figuring that out.
Fire.
If that makes any kind of sense.
Absolutely.
Like I know who I am as a person and as an artist, but I'm still like how do I explain it? Like I tell my niggas all the time, I'm building the plane and flying it at the same time. So I'm just like,
and that's
still
a lot of
everything.
vulnerability. That's
it is.
That take. Where do you even? How are you able to be that honest, right? Because as a rapper, and I know like the vulnerability thing, and people showing sides or the softer sides or whatever you would call it?
I feel like me being honest and being vulnerable is the best way I can grow. Because if I'm not being honest, I'm holding myself back. So for me, being vulnerable is me helping myself grow. Because I want to grow. You know, in my music, I want to grow as a man. So I feel like the best way to do that is to be honest with myself. And if I'm honest with myself, then I'm able to grow.
So where does the Goldmouth moniker come from? Because I was so confused. I was confused. So
no, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Like I was telling you guys before, like my introduction was, I feel like, well, if you were there that night and at All Star, that was everyone's introduction. You know, Cole gave you this big setup. It was like nicest out of Charlotte right now.
I got the name Goldmouth from Revenge of the Dreaming sessions.
Okay.
So at them sessions, I was going around, and there was this one night where I was going around just hopping on everybody's song and like killing shit. And I can't remember if it was Cole or Barry. I think it was Barry, and Barry gave me the name. He was like, bro, you snapping, like you on your Goldmouth shit with the grills. Because I had a grill at the time too. But with the album, Goldmouth basically became like a you ever watch Nutty Professor?
Yes.
With like what's his name? Buddy Love?
Yes.
So Goldmouth is to me as what Buddy Love is to Professor Clump
The
with
protector.
my anxiety and depression and shit like that. That's what allows me to step out of my introverted shell. So when I'm out my introverted shell, I become Goldmouth. So that's the concept of that.
So the same way I asked you who's Lute is. So who is? So you told me how Goldmouth came about, but who is Goldmouth, right? Like, you told me
Goldmouth is a character. You know what I'm saying? Goldmouth is a character where I feel like that's me at my highest. What's the word I'm looking for?
Like that's your most braggadocious. Your
Yeah,
most
you know what I'm saying? Most confident.
Extrovert. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's when I'm at my most confident when I'm Goldmouth. So, but I feel like now in this space, I don't need that character no more though. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like going back to who is Lute. Like I'm grounding myself in just Lute and not having these characters to.
Do you find yourself? Do you find Lute and Goldmouth ever, or maybe is that why? Like, did you find yourself in? Did you find Lute and Goldmouth kind of bumping heads in a creative space?
During creating the album and growing and being vulnerable and shit and figuring out my anxiety and stuff like that, I realized like, damn, I was this nigga the whole time. It wasn't a character. It was me. You know what I'm saying? And
so there was a point where you had to embrace it.
Yeah, I had to embrace it. Like we was talking about on a panel, peeling back the layers of yourself and being okay with that. And I felt like Goldmouth was me realizing like, oh, okay, I'm okay with who I see in the mirror. Yeah.
And who was that you were seeing in the mirror? Because you speak about the anxiety, you speak about the depression.
I just saw somebody that I saw myself wanting to grow and not trying to be stagnant and holding myself accountable. I saw accountability.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So you didn't want to, you said, that's a big statement. You said you didn't want to feel stagnant and holding yourself accountable. What does that, black men, we never get to speak like this, right? Like we never get to speak about what it looks like to hold ourselves accountable. We never speak about what it looks like to even feel stagnant, right? It's always, you ask somebody, it's 5 black men in the room right now. If I ask one of us, if I ask 2, 3 of us, yo, how you doing today? Man, just try and get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And some people might hear that and it sounds like deflection. But really, that's us continuing to push ourselves and letting us, unfairly letting ourselves know, like, yo, don't relax. Don't say life is good.
But see,
that's
how I am though. Like I'm the type of person where when shit is going wrong, I work through my traumas. And at the end of the day, that's cool and all, but that shit catch up to you. And then at some point, you start to that shit boil over. You know what I'm saying? But then it could boil over on the wrong people. Sometimes people get caught in the crossfire of your emotions and stuff like that. And I was kind of tired of doing that to myself and doing that to, the people that I love that's around me type shit. So it's like, I gotta hold myself accountable and be a better person for myself in order to be also better around the people that I love and shit like that. So it was just me holding myself accountable and me being considerate to the people around me as well.
Where is the line, right, where you get to say, I'm being considerate of the people around me, but I'm not allowing the people around me to
But see, there is a line because, you also got to set them boundaries too and that self-care. But see, I never knew what self-care really was. Every time I felt like I was doing self-care, I felt selfish, like I was neglecting something. So it was hard for me to distinguish
Can you go
what's
deeper
self-care.
into that part?
What, like,
About what you felt that you were neglecting? Because like I said earlier, it's like we feel guilty for enjoying life.
No,
as
for
black
real.
men,
Yeah, no, for
and that's
real. Like,
nuts.
so I always feel like I have a job or obligation to, cause I'm a caring type person. So like, I'm caring for everybody, making sure everybody good. So when I'm caring for me, I feel selfish in a way, because I'm like, damn, like, am I being selfish, or is this what I need to be doing, or is this what I should be doing? And I never really take I never really take time out to care for myself. But if I can't care for myself, how can I care for everybody else? You know what I'm saying? Because it be times where I'm like, damn, I feel a little depleted. Like, I just feel like a shell. But that's because I'm not giving that shit back to myself. You know, I can't expect everybody else to water me. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's hard. Self-care for me is hard. It's a hard thing but I'm trying.
How old are you?
I'm 32. Damn, I almost forgot.
You turned 33 this year?
I turned
so we're the same age.
In July, yeah.
So me and Ryan, so we actually turned 33 on the 15th of this month.
Okay.
And it's constantly a conversation we've had amongst me, him, and Mac, and anybody else that was turning 30 in 2019. It was constantly a conversation. It's like, all right, but like, then what? Right? It's like, and then what? I turned 30, and then what? And I don't know, like, I see you got OGs around. So it's like, I remember my dad just being like just laughing, right? I'd be like, and then what? I turned 30, and then what? He's like, and then you're 30. And like, as black men, or maybe just as men in general in the society, we don't leave much space for the experience.
Yeah.
We have to do this.
Yeah.
We have to set this up. And then we have to set this up. And then when we do enjoy those pockets of space in which that we created, like we just got done saying, we feel guilty.
Guilty, yeah.
So have you reached a point where you're not feeling guilty for self-care anymore?
No. I'm still figuring that out. Like I said, I'm building the plane and flying at the same time. But I have gotten in pockets where I'm like, nah, I'm taking this time out for me today.
What are those? What, if you don't mind, what do some of those boundaries look like?
So for me, I like to write in my journal. I like to go to the lake and shit. Like, I just like do shit that clear my space, or I go out and like go to a spot that I really fuck with to eat and just chill and sit and think in my thoughts. You know?
I got this fire. I think it's like it's a breakfast spot. I have this fire breakfast spot in Charlotte.
I definitely got
I can't fucking remember the name of it to save my life. But I'm there every single time,
Word.
And it hits the same way. It's like,
yo, if you remember the name,
I'm gonna remember the name and I'm gonna text it to you. Matt, when do you get back to Charlotte?
Saturday, I think. Sunday. All right, Sunday.
Oh, you get back Sunday? Damn, because I'm in Charlotte on Saturday.
Damn,
I was gonna tell you to come to because we're doing trap karaoke at the Fillmore.
Oh, okay.
Which is legendary stopping grounds for you at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you get because you're so down to earth? You're not here with a bunch of chains on. You're just you.
Nah, I just be chilling.
Do you get the rapper treatment at home?
Yeah. Nah, I do, because I feel like people at home, but see, it's people at home know me, because I've been around at home for a long time too. I've been rapping for a minute, and people know my personality. They know I'm a laid back dude. They know I don't do too much. They know I be chilling, but I still because we've been working. And people starting to see it. So, but in certain places, like when I go outside of home, like people can't tell if I'm the rapper or not. You know what I'm saying? But I like it like that, because I don't like to be in the front.
But your fan base is such. You guys at Dreamville, the thing that's to me is so dope is that Cole and Eve and that team over there has been able to curate a team of like-minded individuals. When I say that, everybody's their own person, obviously, but you guys all kind of curated these cult fan bases alone before y'all came to Dreamville. So like everybody brings like these big cult fan bases, and it's like a marriage of fan bases. Your fans know you no matter what.
Right.
Like I've seen like Boz be out and just be regular, and people go crazy. With someone as laid back as you, has that fan interaction, has that been something that's been tough to navigate?
No, it hasn't been. It's been cool. It's just sometimes I have to keep in mind, because it's been a few situations where I'm like, damn, I keep forgetting, like, cause I don't wanna mess up somebody's first interaction with me. You know what I'm saying? No matter what kind of day that I'm having. And it was one time I had to catch myself because I was having a super bad day, and I think somebody wanted a picture or whatever, and I wasn't feeling it at the time because I was just so into like what I was dealing with, and I had to apologize because I'm like, just not really thinking and not being present. I had to apologize because it's like, that's on me. Like, and because I've met people where I'm like, damn, that person ain't how I thought they were. Or you meet them and it's like, damn, like they
never meet your heroes. You'll always be disappointed.
Yeah. Right. And so I keep that in mind all the time because it's like in a sense, I feel like I owe it to them to, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you want a picture? That's cool. Like, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way. Like, after a show, line and I'm like,
yeah, like I
just jumped around on stage for 4 hours. I don't want to, but it's like, how dare I?
Right.
How dare I not? Right. You paid 40, 50, 60.
Right.
Who knows?
Right.
You paid your money to be here. You stayed with me for 4 hours.
Right.
And I think
or probably followed you your whole career.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, nah.
You listen to me on a podcast here. You watch me over here. And I guess the way I think about it, is so much goes into that 4 hours, right? Like we know, everybody in this room knows what goes into the sauce, right? But as a consumer, they have a process just like we do, right? Like we know, all right, I got my music on, I'm focusing. When I get out here, I'm gonna do this. But the consumer, they might have like a more intricate job, right? Because they got to get their ticket, which means they got to be able to afford their ticket. Then they might have to find a babysitter. They got to buy an outfit. They got to buy some sneakers.
They got to stand out there in them
lines. They got to start stand out there in that fucking line. Yeah. They got to so I got to make sure this 4 hours was worth it. The 7 days of work you put in.
Right.
We black, and we know our fans are black. We know exactly what they got to go through. Just 7 days to get to the show.
Nah, for sure.
You got to go to work. You got to deal with this motherfucker talking to you sideways. You can't punch him because you don't want to go to jail, miss the show. You can't punch him because you don't want to lose his job. So it's like, in those 4 hours, it sounds crazy, but like those 4 hours, I'm not mine. I'm yours.
Right.
I'm whoever and whatever you need me to be for those next 4 hours. Once again, when we're talking about boundaries in those interactions with the fans, where does that stop? And I'm asking you this because I'm still trying to figure it out myself, right? Like, where is the boundary where we're like, not today, and not feel guilty about it?
Right, and I haven't got there yet.
Because Will Smith,
I haven't reached that.
Will Smith, if you haven't read his book is amazing. He talks about that in his book where he's like, I started having boundaries at like 50. And like, and he told a guy like during the Cannes Festival, like he was just working out and he was like, I'm not taking no picture of nobody today. Guy came in so excited, wanted just a picture for like his autistic brother. And Will Smith was like, nah. And he like just seeing the hurt on that guy's face. He went upstairs and cried. Now I'm not going upstairs to cry about nothing.
Right. But I you know what I'm saying? It's a tough thing because people also forget that we also human. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bleed like you bleed. So it's like, we human at the end of the day, man. And some days we just, again, you want those boundaries for like your mental peace. Like Will Smith was probably on his mental shit that day where it's like, yo, I'm on my self-care shit today. It's all about me. And yeah, like it's just setting those boundaries and finding where and when to set those boundaries. That's tough. I'm still trying to figure that shit out.
It's scary.
It is.
And I don't like to admit that I'm scared of a lot of things. But that right there, it scared the shit out of me because it's one thing to be a music artist and feel like that, right? Like, you guys have like, I mean, obviously you feel differently probably, but like, in my eyes, it's like, you guys have like this elevated level of success because it's like, you succeed and people are like kind of far away from you. When I don't really believe in famous when it comes to media personalities. We're just popular, right? Like, Charlamagne's famous, but the rest of us niggas, we're just popular for the time being with the people we're popular with. So it's like, I'm always worried about like, oh man, if this interaction don't go right, that's a fan I lose. And I'm like, I'm walking around like taking
but that's me. Like I do the same shit. Like, again, like it's like, damn, I'm not like being present and registering what's really going on. So I'm like, damn, that interaction could have been me losing a fan or them bumping into me and I don't engage as much as I normally would. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's different.
Let's talk about some music shit.
Okay, let's do that.
I feel like we probably, the people at home are like, damn, these niggas is feeling.
But it's
like,
the truth though.
Niggas,
but like,
y'all make a living doing what y'all doing. Shut up.
It's the truth though, man. Like,
and this is what I want.
A lot of people don't think about shit.
And that's
like
what
that.
I want this space to be, right? I want obviously you come on any of my platforms and be your like most authentic self. But I feel like a one-on-one conversation and we could just really
I appreciate
no
that,
holds
though.
barred. We could talk about the things we don't get to talk about as black men, as artists, all of that.
Especially as black men.
That's
we don't
the most
open up a
important
lot
part.
about shit.
But I want to talk about this music shit.
Okay.
Because you're really good at it.
I appreciate
you're,
it.
You're really good at this music shit.
That. I'm trying.
I gotta ask you, what is the song? What's the song or verse or however it came across? But what's the thing that made you fall in love with music? Right? Like for me, it's Pretty Brown Eyes, right? I never heard music the same. I never heard music until I heard Pretty Brown Eyes. Like I heard stuff playing, but when I heard Pretty Brown Eyes, whether it was hip hop, R&B, jazz, whatever, I never heard music the same way after Pretty Brown Eyes. So what was it for you?
All right, I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't a song or a particular album. It was back when like MTV and all that shit was really popping. Just seeing ODB on stage and like my mom hated ODB. She was just like, "No, you're not watching this." But I was intrigued. Like you know what I'm saying? It intrigued me. I'm just like, bro, this nigga's wild. But like he's like Andre and ODB are two niggas where I'm like, yo, they were authentically themselves no matter what nobody said or who was around. They were them. You know what I'm saying?
To no detriment of anyone. I think
I appreciated shit like that. Like watching ODB do his thing and him act crazy and do all his wild shit, that intrigued me. That had my eyes open like, yo, what's this? What's going on here? And I was young as fuck. So
I had to be. We were the same age. So I remember the first time me really seeing ODB. Dag, it shows our age. I'm not sure if the first time I remember seeing him was either in the video for the SWV record on the Above the Rim soundtrack, or it was the MTV joint where he was getting. I think it was the MTV joint where he was picking up his food stamps.
Yeah, it was the MTV joint for me. And my mom was just like, my mom hated him. She's just like, nah, you're not watching.
I remember my grandmother, rest in peace, Nan. I remember she was just like, he's picking up his food stamps on TV. And I was like...
But looking back now, looking at that shit, it's like, bro,
he was just him.
He was a genius.
He was just him.
Yeah, just him.
Are you in the space where, musically, are you in a space where you feel comfortable being your full self?
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure, because that is my music.
Because I can hear that on the album. Like, and maybe it's just because it's the first album. You hear how you're embracing a lot of different thought processes. You're embracing different flows, and even cadences, right? And to me, when I hear a rapper, I really get involved. I really get, attached to the cadence because I feel like that's your breath and that's the way you're
cadence is important to me. Like I try to find that first before I even start writing words, but cadence is very important.
How do you do that? And let me know if I'm asking too much about the sauce.
It's just so I'm an artist that I rap to the snare, if that makes any kind of sense. So I rap to So in those spaces I try to find different loopholes, different just different ways to kind of, I don't know, like I'm seeing it in my mind, explaining it is super different. But so me rapping to the snare, I have all this space in between the snare, so I just try to figure out different cadences, different flows. Not too much, but just enough to where my voice is being part of the beat. As like I like to use my voice as an extra added instrument. Yes,
and that's always been my favorite artist. Kendrick, Hove, Pharrell. Pharrell does I think what Teddy Riley built on, Pharrell fucking globalized it, if that's even a word. But like artists who are able to use their voice as an added instrument, it makes the difference.
Right.
Because you're like, yeah, nigga can rap, but then when I hear artists and it's like, oh, nah, this nigga is a part of the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was that natural? Or did you just one day you were rapping and you just
one
noticed
day,
it?
Like I didn't notice that in the beginning. Like I was just rapping, just spitting and just rapping, and because I started with boom bap. So for me, it was just like I'm just rapping. I'm rapping my ass off, like trying to be like these cats that I grew up on. But then I started to realize, and I started listening to more like Goody Mob and Outkast, and I realized like, yo, like I listen to Andre, and it's like, yo, this nigga is like an added instrument. You know what I'm saying? Like he has these flows and has these cadences, and like it's not taken away from the song. You know what I mean? So it made me tap into that a little more. So that's when I started like paying attention to instruments and the beat to rap to, and I realized that my pocket is the snare.
Yes.
You know?
And that's what I'm having a brain fart right now. But it's funny that you brought up Andre, because there's a flow used on. I don't think it was. No, it definitely wasn't GD. I'm having a brain fart. Forgive me. But the first time I remember being able to like say Andre's doing that with his voice was on So Friends So Clean, where he's like, everything's on your nasty mind, like where he's like manipulating his voice, and it's fitting like a snake, right? Like a snake moving over ground. And you were doing that a few times on the album, and so when you're saying it now, I'm like, this nigga's a genius, because you're able to find that groove and just filling in and not trying.
That's all it is, like just trying to, just fill that space in, but like not make it overbearing or take away from the beat. And even when I'm talking to producers, I'm like, yo, make sure that snare hitting, because that's my pocket. Make sure that snare hit.
Do they ever do engineers or producers ever get annoyed? Be like, nigga, you're
because they understand. Like, and I like to be around people that understand what I'm talking about. I don't like fighting a nigga to, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'll just be like, yo, make sure that snare is very, dominant.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I want to ask, growing up, you grew up in Charlotte?
Yeah, grew up, lived.
So growing up in Charlotte, the Queen City, who were the hip hop, like everybody has sneaky hip hop artists. Like in New York, when I'm growing up, we got Akinelli, we got Mike Geronimo, there's some people that if you're from New York, you'll know these guys. I mean, we're a little spoiled up here because at that time when we were growing up, our big artists were the artists in music, you know what I mean? But like, who were some of the artists? Because I know North Carolina, the commercially successful artists before we get to Cole and the Baby, is like, that comes to mind for people with Pastor Troy. But I want to know, like, who are the people like that the barbershop was bumping? Who were the guys that Charlotte was really messing with back then, that you were seeing, that you were starting to formulate, okay, this is how rap looks and sounds?
At that time, we had a few people, and after that, it really started to bubble and build. They really kind of set the foundation for the city. You have people like Betty Grind, King Carter, S-Dub. I'm forgetting a few people because my brain all over the place.
Am I bugging, or was Young One from Charlotte, or was he from Atlanta?
Young One.
I think Swizz or DMX signed him.
I can't remember.
He was from Atlanta or from Charlotte?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we had some people. And then that set the foundation for us to build, and like.
And then of course you had Little Brother.
Yeah, Little Brother. But they were from like Raleigh and Durham. But I know Pooh and them, y'all was coming and doing shit down there in Charlotte and stuff too. But yeah, like it was a foundation, but like it really sparked a whole wave when the blog shit started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when you had like the De Niro's and Elevator J, myself, it's a couple other people.
Put yourself in there, my boy.
I mean, because I ain't gonna, but yeah, like, and I feel like now Charlotte has a whole scene.
Yeah.
That like, whether, after the Baby or if niggas is really it's a whole scene down there.
You got the Baby, you got Stunner, you got Moray. Like, I need.
Moray from Fayetteville.
Okay. So you know what? So that will enlighten me even more. So when I think of it, I think as anyone who doesn't live there would,
it's all
North Carolina. Yeah. But y'all already just broke it down to me, like Little Brother being from, like when I think of Little Brother,
and Stunner
I
from
think
Salisbury.
Yeah, so when I think of little brother, I think North Carolina. When I think of Stunner and the baby, I think North Carolina.
Yeah, we all close.
But what separates
y'all?
What makes?
So it's like being from New York, right? And somebody being from Brooklyn or the Bronx.
No, it's a big difference.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's like that.
But I guess I'm asking musically. What is are Durham niggas more lyrical? Are Charlotte niggas more?
I don't think it's a sound. I don't think it's a big difference. I really just think it's region.
Wow. Okay.
It's just region.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a sound difference where this nigga's doing this, or because I don't feel like North Carolina has a sound at all. I just feel like we probably a lot more soulful as far as like the lyrics with like consciousness and all that other shit. But then you have like shit like Stunner for Vegas and the baby and you got niggas that turn up too. But like I feel like it's not a musical thing. That's the divide. It's just a region thing.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. What was those? What? I've heard you answer this question before, so I don't want to ask how you got to Dreamville. Do whatever y'all do your research. Y'all know how the nigga got there. I want to ask about those.
Yeah, I like the answer though.
I don't like asking. Like you gotta as a nigga that sits and talks to people for a living, you gotta be accountable for like the people. How did you get to Dreamville? How did you meet Cole? Suck my dick, bro. I said this 14 times already, bro. Like do your research. But what I do want to ask about, I haven't seen you speak about it much, and if you have, my apologies. I want to talk about those recording sessions. I want to talk about how you come in there almost as low guy on the totem pole, and you're getting into all these recording sessions. You're seeing artists that maybe are your peers, maybe are a bit higher than you. You're seeing everybody eat. I already know like some of the atmosphere that was in there. Like people were just going from room to room. What was it like for you?
I'm not gonna lie. Dreamville Fest, not Dreamville Fest, but Revenge of the Dreaming sessions. It was tough for me, especially like again, I'm an introvert, so I'm so used to my shell. And at the time, we didn't know all those niggas were gonna be there until we got there. Yeah, we thought it was just gonna be some Dreamville shit. So you look online and you see niggas with the invitation. So you got niggas with the invitation, but like you seen it in the studio, like studio packed out.
Right.
It's like, oh shit. So that made me come out of my shell because
I remember Olu saying like y'all was like living in there. Like niggas would take showers, eat, and just stay there.
But the first day was tough for me because I'm like, I'm processing all this shit. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna place on this shit. That was my initial. Like when we got there, I was like, bruh, I don't know if I'm gonna be on this shit because it's hard to process. But it was that one night, I was like, you know what, bruh, fuck this shit. Like I got something to prove. Like that's at that time, that was one of the times where I'm like, yo, I got some shit to prove, and niggas gonna hear me. But I didn't know how I was gonna do that.
Right.
But luckily I did that shit. But it was a hard process trying to come out of my shell because every day the room changed of the vibe. So if you in a room and it's like hip hop over here and it's like niggas turning up over here, that hip hop room ain't gonna be the same tomorrow. That's a whole nother room, a whole nother setup with whole nother artists.
Right.
So it was just trying to figure out what the vibes was, what I was comfortable with, and it was times where like I had to get uncomfortable.
Can you talk to me about one of those times where like you had to actively get uncomfortable and how you went about it?
I'm trying to remember what song it was. It was a song with it was like me, Boss. I think Omen was in there. It was a bunch of other niggas in there. I can't remember who all was in there. I know Reason was in there. And it was one particular song that was like not my speed at all. But I'm like, I'm getting on this shit. Because I felt like if I get on it, I felt like I not had something to prove, but I had to get out of being so comfortable doing certain types of music or doing songs with certain type of people that fit my style. I was like, nah, this might not be my speed, but I'm getting on this shit. And that was one of them times where I'm like, that was me just breaking out of my shell because that was a song that I would have never got on if it came to me. But it was just like, nah, I'm getting on every single song that I got an opportunity to get on.
I want to talk to you, before I let you out of here, I want to talk to you about two things that stand out to me. Wish a nigga would, like Liam Neeson. At the time, it was culturally on point. It was like right there, and it was one of the most it was the most genius things I've ever heard. Like, as a nigga, listen,
I ain't gonna front. Like, that song, when it came, like, Doe will tell you, I was gonna turn the whole song down because I'm like, this was before I even knew Kendrick was gonna be on. I didn't even know Kendrick was gonna be on it until Dreamville had it was like a release party in New York on the 4th.
I remember.
And that was, Eve was in the car. He's like, bruh, we got Kendrick on this shit. I'm about to play it. So he played it in the car. I'm like, bro, this shit crazy. But when I got it, Cole already had a verse on it. And then they said that they was going to get the baby on it. And I'm just like, bruh. And then you got me on this song who niggas don't know who the fuck I am from nothing.
Right.
So I'm like, at first it kind of not intimidated me, but it was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna be a perfect fit for this song. I know I get like niggas trying to do the North Carolina shit, but I don't think I'm worthy of being on this fucking song. But then I was like, you know what? Nah, fuck that shit. It was another one of the moments where I'm like, nah, I actually gotta talk my shit and I gotta prove myself.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if I am gonna prove myself between these two niggas, I gotta say something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't just be in my normal pocket. Like, I gotta say something that's either gonna get niggas talking or get niggas to spark a conversation or something. Cause I'm just nigga on here that's like, everybody know these two niggas. I'm the one nigga on here that nobody probably know anything about. So I can't just come how I know me on a song. So I was like, I gotta figure some shit out, and I pulled that out of nowhere. I gotta say something.
Yo, I remember the first time hearing it. I told y'all off air, and I'm glad I got to tell y'all off air, right? Because, you know, people tell you shit on camera. It's like, really, nigga? But I wanted to tell y'all, literally, I was sitting in there, and this is in the midst of everybody thinking I hate Cole and all of this. I'm just like, fuck that. I'm in this spot. Like, nigga might perform Enchanted. Like, that's my favorite Cole record ever. Like, I'm not missing a chance because y'all niggas think I hate the nigga.
Right.
I'm going to hate the nigga tomorrow. Like, give me Enchanted, though. And so I'm in there, and he gave you, like I said earlier, he gave you he gave you the, like, you know, in wrestling, they call it the rub. Like, you know, they gave him, just my nigga, Dreamville, Charlotte, and you come out and you spit that verse. And I remember I was talking to somebody, I hear you rapping, like, what's the nigga talking about? And nigga said, wish a nigga would Liam Neeson. I threw my phone, I said, what the fuck? Get this nigga a mixtape right now. I need it all. Get this nigga. And I'm like, yo. That's all I need to hear to let me know. Nigga, I'm from New York. We done grew up listening to Lloyd Banks and like punchlines. That's why I still watch battle. Like, I get it that we're moving away from it.
You know what's crazy though? I'm not a punchline nigga.
Nigga, you punch the shit out that long.
That's why I'm like, yo, I gotta like, I don't know if niggas know, but like, I don't do punchlines like that. I just be speaking on,
which
like,
I had to realize with the album. Now getting into the album, that was one thing I not that I missed, but it was one thing I noticed. I was like, it's not punchy. It's not punchy. He's getting right to it. It's no, it's the setup, but like, it's here.
But now I'm realizing like what punchlines do for songs. So I'm like,
because you damn sure
so
brought the punchline
like,
back
I gotta get in my
shit.
punchline bag. But I'm not really a punchline guy. But I can, you know what I'm saying? I can do those things. It's just like, that's just when it's me being comfortable and writing my music. I don't go for the punchlines. I just go for the music and the experience. But,
GD, my favorite album, or my favorite record off of the album. Where did the idea formulate?
GD is the first song. GD is the song that started Goldmouth, the album. That kicked off the album. Because again, like I said, I started with Boom Bap. GD was my first song where I'm like, yo, I kind of want to step aside from being this super hip hop artist. I want to try something different, but still be able to keep my flow. And GD was that song where my engineer and I, you know, and my homeboy Mix P, we kind of figured it out. And GD was that first song that was like, yo, I could really be an artist. You know what I mean? And not just this hip hop rapper. And so yeah, GD sparked the whole, like, all the songs came after GD. GD was the first song. I had GD at the Revenge sessions. I played it just to get everybody's feel on it.
And
everybody fucked with it. Yeah.
How hard is it not to buy into your own hype when all your peers, the people that you would look to impress, are impressed by you? How hard is it not to buy into that hype? Because to a lot of artists in that space who love hip hop and are, you know, stick to the essence of hip hop, getting on Dreamville, getting cosigns from Cole, Kendrick, and these niggas getting this love for staying to the essence, that could get to somebody's head. But nigga, I'm there already.
I guess for me, it's just finding ways to just stay grounded. I try to ground myself all the time. Like I don't let the experiences and the things people say get to my head. Either way. Yeah. Either way, whether it's good shit or bad shit, I just try to find a way to stay grounded and know what my purpose is and know why I want to do this.
A South Carolina OG said, he said to one of my OGs, he said, you're never as good as they say you are, you're never as bad as they say you are. Is that something that constantly is in the back of your mind, that keeps you grounded, keeps you in that middle ground?
Yeah, and it's just like I'm in a space where I'm discovering and knowing myself. So a lot of things that would probably throw other people off, it don't really throw me off because I know myself and I'm confident in that. So for somebody to say, "Oh, I don't feel bad when people say, yo, I don't fuck with your music." I'm like, bet, it just wasn't for you, and I'm okay with that.
But there's got to be a way to say it.
Yeah,
but you can't just see you on the side. Yeah, but I don't fuck with that shit.
But it's times where people be like, nah, bro, I don't fuck with your shit. Like it don't hit for me, and it's like that's cool. It don't hit for you, and that's perfectly fine. It's mad niggas on the team. You know what I'm saying? But still, you know what I mean? Like it's mad niggas on the team, and I got other shit coming. I got that song or that project just might not be for you, and that's okay. And I didn't get like that until when Cole was spitting and he was saying some shit on For Your Eyes Only, but he would do his set at the stadium. Okay. But he was saying like in a space where it's like, yo, like my music might not hit for everybody or whatever, and that's okay. You'll discover this shit later, and it might resonate with you because my experiences you probably haven't been through yet. And so for me, it's like, damn, like that's deep, but it makes sense because it's like I didn't fuck with Biggie Juicy until I had a daughter.
I stopped breathing for a minute when you said
no, dead ass.
I was
dead ass.
I don't know if everybody else seen it. Like I was like,
I didn't.
What is happening?
I did it. Like there wasn't like a.
Tell me why though. That's interesting.
It just didn't hit for me. It didn't hit for me at the time. Like it was cool. Like it was cool to vibe. But up until I had a daughter, I didn't really pay attention to the lyrics.
How's your daughter?
She's 6 now.
Okay.
So
up
until then, like listening to
6 years ago, this nigga started fucking with the record that was like diamond.
Nah, like I love it. Like I fuck with it, but it didn't hit for me until I was like, oh shit, like nah, facts. It just hit with me. It hit more.
That line where he's like, "Fuck all you, I'm just trying to make some money."
Yeah, or like putting 5 cats in my baby girl ear shit. Like
Man, listen, I don't know. It's been like it's been injected into my veins, so it's like I couldn't think of a day not. But wow,
I'm not saying that I didn't fuck with it, but it's like
it hit you. It
more.
Connected to you more. 6 years ago.
Yeah,
that's dope though. That is dope. That is a dope relationship because I'm. People look at me today and they're like, well, when did you like, Andre's always been in my top, but like UGK, like I've always respected what they did, but like my appreciation for them, it kind of formed over the past like 4 or 5 years as to where like Outkast, I've always appreciated what they did. I've always been a super fan of Andre. I've always thought Andre is one of the most lyrical rappers of all time. So I get what you're saying, like where like, there's these legends and their spots are legendary and they're not movable. But the connection, and I think that's what we're all going for in music and everything we do in this culture is we're trying to connect to people. We don't want shit. I mean, maybe you do because, that it makes more money when people just be, oh, let me like that. But when it connects and it sticks with them, what Talib says, stick to your ribs. Like when you got that type of shit, that's what I think we're all going for, whatever it is that we're doing.
Yeah, like even with Goldmouth, I'm like, I know it's probably not gonna resonate with a lot of people, but it's gonna resonate with a lot of people, and the people that it don't, it's cool. Like it just wasn't for them.
Like I said, it resonated with me, and like I said, I'm so happy that the first conversation I did like this was with you, because like I said, you are someone I look at as a peer, but I'm also able to simultaneously be a fan of.
I appreciate that though.
That album, so Goldmouth, the album sits with me different, and like we'll have this because I know you're going for all. I know I'm going for all. So we're gonna like have this conversation on somebody's radio station like 4 or 5 years and be like, nah, nigga, Goldmouth, that was the shit. Goldmouth, they fronting on you. I know they fuck with this right now. But Goldmouth was the shit when we was 32, and I was like, nah, this nigga. I told niggas at 30 he was the goods. I told niggas. Ryan, all you niggas at Mac Wild's birthday party in 2019, I remember you niggas. I told you niggas.
That's funny.
Told you niggas. I know that this is the generic question, but like, what's next? Like, what's next?
I'm about to drop
you're on a drama tape.
The drama joint. About to drop a deluxe soon. Couple videos I got coming out. So I've been working. I felt like I had to drop the deluxe because I kind of fell back when I dropped the album because my pops and my grandma passed. So I kind of stayed off social media for a little bit, unexpectedly.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I feel like with this goal,
how are you getting through that?
I'm still. It's a daily thing. It's a process like everything else. It's a battle.
Yeah.
But I feel like with the deluxe, it gives me an opportunity to kind of revamp it back up again, and I kind of wanted to bring the production up a little bit in energy with the latter half, and the 6 songs that's on there, it's all me.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to show people that I can also hold my own on a song, because I know I had a lot of features or whatever, but I felt like those features were
well-placed
perfect.
Features, yes.
For the songs that they were on. And but I just wanted to showcase what I can do, and the fact that I can make songs and kind of bring up the latter half.
So, and we're both flying this plane as we're building it, right? Because it's first conversation.
Right.
I didn't have it super structured, but I know something I want to do with this is I want to, usually we shout, at the end of the interview, oh, shout out the album. Of course you got to do that, but I want to see if we could push ourselves further, right? So at the end of this, I want, on your send-off, I want you to shout out some young upcoming, whatever it is. If it's art, if it's a basketball player from your, whatever it is, who's some youngins or that you got your eye on, regardless of what their space they in, just some black youngins that, you want the world to shed a little bit more light on.
Bet, I got you. Oh, you want me to do it now?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right.
Hey, edit that. Don't make my nigga Lute look crazy out here. Make sure you edit that to where it's seamless.
Oh, shit. I got a homie out in the city, Mavi.
Okay.
He be spitting and shit. Who else? See, now you put me on the spot, and I gotta think, because it is a lot of young cats out there.
Right. And don't worry, what you're doing right now, you thinking is gonna let the next person that come on, they gonna be like, all right, this nigga asked me about these youngins, and I'm gonna flip it on there and be like, who's some old niggas you want to see do better? Now I'm playing. Who's some old niggas you want to get out the paint? Now I'm playing.
That shit funny as hell.
Yeah, who's the old nigga that want to see?
Damn, man, I'm drawing a blank.
But we got
put me
Mavi,
on the spot.
spitter.
Yeah, we got Mavi, he the spitter. I'm gonna shout out my nigga Mavi, bruh.
Mavi.
Shout out my nigga, yeah.
So Mavi, Lute shouted you out. Everybody go listen to Mavi. YouTube, stream. I don't know what his DSP
Spotify,
situation is. If he got friends.
Yeah, Spotify.
He got
iTunes.
Lute, so boom, he everywhere. And obviously, Goldmouth, the album, the deluxe is coming soon. You said you got videos. But damn, before you got it, I definitely want to ask about videos, because I'm so interested in where you're going to take these videos.
So I got we got Changes with BJ, and then Out of Eye with Kaz.
Okay.
So those are 2 videos we got coming up. I think the first video we dropping is Changes, and then Out of Eye. But
listen, I feel like I'm pretty big in the game right now. I'm a pretty big deal. If y'all want to let me see this before everybody else, I think I appreciate that. I'm talking about. I
got it.
Would love to see it.
I washed my phone in the damn washing machine, so I lost all my, because I forgot my damn Apple ID password and all that shit.
Damn phone.
So I ain't got nothing. I had to start from scratch.
Listen, man, like I said, I appreciate your time.
Nah, I appreciate
you pulling up and having such an open, candid conversation to kick this, whatever this thing is going to be, you know what I mean? And I'm going to just keep it super simple, bro. I can't wait to see you at the top, bro.
Nah, thank you, bro.
I know in my craft I'm going to be there. I know at your craft you're going to be there, and we're going to meet again.
Oh, yeah, we're going to meet again.
A bunch of times, but we're going to have, like, one of the things that's always kept me in this is, like, seeing those I look up to and the way they interact. And, right, and it's like, you can look at, right now you can go Google, like, Angie Martinez with Hove. Like, it's like 5 or 6 interviews, and they're all different, and they're all, you know what I mean? That's what I'm looking to create with, like I said, with my peers, the people that are my peers. So I know we're going to have a bunch more conversations coming up.
Oh, no, for sure.
I'm gonna come down there and do some kind of
whatever.
whatever.
You definitely gotta hit me up. And you gotta give me that breakfast spot.
I'm gonna find out right now. I'm gonna find out right now. But yeah, I'm super proud of you.
Thank you, bro.
I'm happy for you. That drink, y'all looked good on stage. Y'all looked good out there. And nigga, you on a drama tape,
yeah,
nigga.
Bro. Listen.
Woo!
That shit
and y'all niggas
crazy,
sneaky.
Bro.
Y'all niggas sneaky. Y'all niggas was able to do. Yeah. I hit Olu and said, y'all sneaky bitches. Y'all sat in my face for 2 hours talking about how trash New York is and had a whole drama tape on the release. We wasn't even fully in the crib, and niggas said,
that shit funny as hell.
I said, these bitch niggas did not tell me nothing. But yeah, man, I can't wait to see it all, man. Any shows coming up?
Not at the moment. I was on the Cyber tour. But
Saba's a great. I like Saba a lot.
I fuck with Saba.
Like that Care For Me album, still my favorite album in a very long time. I don't know if my apologies if he put out anything new. I'm still stuck on that Care For Me album. Like, masterpiece. Wonderful.
We were supposed to go on tour, but I had to step aside because I'm still dealing with stuff. And I just want to be able to be 100% for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, but actually I think we do have a show coming up in Memphis.
Memphis.
Yeah, I got a college show in Memphis.
Okay.
And but yeah, that's it for me at the moment. And then just trying to get ready for the rollout.
Up. Yeah, fuck them colleges.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I said, thank you.
Nah,
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, bro.
Can't wait to see what's more.
Yeah.
And like I said, when we have this conversation at the top, I'll be like, nigga, remember you?
Nah, yeah, no, for sure.
I'm gonna keep you honest. I'm be like, nigga, you was mad humble. You was mad quiet. I see what you doing now. You got gold teeth on the chain. What's going on? Somebody put my name on the list at the All-Star show y'all did. So I got a call, and I was like, oh, somebody trying to line me. But I'm like, it's Dreamville. I'm tough. I'm going to see what's up. So I go in there, and it's the first, I never heard of you before. And you spit the shit that you spit off the album. No lie, I'm sitting there, I'm like, Cole.
All-Star, because we had a show All-Star.
At the Fillmore.
At the Fillmore.
Yeah, Fillmore.
Okay, at the Fillmore.
And he introduced you, remember?
Yeah,
he was like,
yeah. Under the sun, damn.
And you came out, and the nigga said, wish a nigga would Liam Neeson. Nigga, when I tell you I threw my phone, my phone on, you can ask anybody around me. I threw my phone on the floor. That was 2019. I said, this nigga gonna be the nicest nigga ever, son. I said, this nigga gonna be the nicest nigga ever, son. Ever.
I did.
You want to change that? Why?
I did. I thought it was weak.
That shit was the best verse on the record.
I keep telling them that, like, yo, bro.
You slid on. Listen, they gonna not pick. They not give you. Because it's obviously the baby and Cole.
Right? No, for sure. I figured that. I figured that already.
Nigga, no rapping niggas gonna hear that. If niggas had to read that verse, they not. If niggas just read the verses and didn't say who wrote what, I'm telling you, 10 times out of 10 they picking your shit.
No, you mean, yo, I was like, academics said the same shit though.
He don't even like rap.
Yo,
he don't even like rappity rap.
The nigga was like, yo, he's like, I don't know who this guy in the middle is. He killed these niggas on this song, and I need to go find out who he is.
I didn't think I had the best verse.
You had the best verse.
I didn't.
I'm telling you now.
I didn't think I did.
And I'm telling you this now off camera so they can't say I'm dick riding on camera. I'm telling you, that was the best verse.
I appreciate that.
It's not only the best verse on the that's easily the best verse in the song.
I appreciate that.
It's a top 5 verse from the album. From the Revenge of the Dreamers 3, that's a top 5. And niggas was barring. Yeah, y'all was going
niggas was,
like that was some Wu-Tang
definitely barring
back in the like niggas is barring each other up. Like, yeah, I know we label mates, but nigga, I want your head. Pause. Like, you went. That's a top 5. Like, when I go back to that shit, I gotta go back to that shit. That's my favorite. That's my personal favorite verse on there. But niggas can't sleep. Like, that's a top 5 verse from that album.
I appreciate that. Cause I swear to God, I was gonna change the fuck out of that verse.
I'm glad. That GED shit. We gonna talk about that GED shit when we. But that GED shit, that's my.
Thank you, bro.